Since the beginning of last season, think about this. Since your Sacramento Kings have been on this run of whatever it is, they've turned this thing around, guys. Not since the start of that run, start of the season, last season, have your Sacramento Kings lost 4 games in a row. 4 games in a row. Kings tonight struggle. I mean, Joe Namath struggling to score points against the Indiana Pacers. That are the Indiana Pacers coming into tonight's contest 29th in the NBA in points allowed. 29th in the NBA. Oh, by the way, guys, we haven't even touched on free throws. Free throws. Stop. So here's the thing. Scott, get out of here with that stuff, man. Wrong show, dude. Wrong show. And by the way, thank you for being here. I'm Ryan in Sacktown in for Grant Napear tonight. Kings lose again. First, dumbfounded. Kings lose again, 126-121 to a depleted. And when I say depleted, I mean depleted Indiana Pacers team. TJ McConnell looking like an NBA all-star point guard against the Kings tonight. I mean, all 5 starters for the Pacers in double digits. And mind you, Tyrese Halliburton, no go tonight. Although he is on track to come back sooner than most expected from his hamstring injury. He did not play. Also, no Pascal Siakam. Siakam did not play. Kings lose 126-121. So I put that comment up because I want to have a responsible conversation. We had a great post-game show last game. I thought it was awesome, by the way. So I want to have you guys back again. Please, I'm going to put the link right there into the chat. Feel free to join the show. Come on up, ask a question. You can be on camera. Don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. Would love to have you. I'll go ahead and put this up as well. That is the QR code. If you want to scan that, that'll take you to the same spot. We will have you guys up. We'll get to your chat as well. Let's go over the stats, okay? And I know the one that everybody wants to talk about right now is free throws. Free throws. So before we talk free throw percentage, I talked about this last game when free throws came up. I said the Kings aren't taking enough free throws. They're not getting to the line enough. Tonight, that was much better for the Kings. 32 attempts. 18 of 32, 56.3% from the free throw line. A little bit of everybody from the core, quote unquote, core of this team missing free throws, whether it's Monk, Sabonis, you name them, they missed them. So the reason I bring up the free throws is not just tonight. Get this, guys. I talk about attempts. The Kings shot 32 tonight. Much better. For the season this year, compared to last season, the Kings are down 19.3% on attempts. 19.3%. What that equates to is roughly 11 attempts. Or excuse me, not 11 attempts. They're down 19%. 19.3% from last year in attempts at the free throw line. So, hey, I wasn't lying when I said I want to open things up to you. We can get back to the stats in a minute. Let's get Condog 209. What's up, man? Thanks for being here on If You Don't Like That.
Thanks for having me again, Ryan. It's always happy to come on here after every game. So this is something I thought of in my head, and I talked with someone at work. I'm at the point where I believe it is a viable strategy for opposing teams to rest their star players against us because we do not show up when Embiid's out, Tatum's out, Horford's out, Halliburton out. Like, these teams are depleted when they play us, and yeah, Indiana didn't wipe the floor with us, but that's mainly because we had a little bit of run at the end of the fourth quarter there. But other than that, we've been wiped off the floor. We've been ran out of town. And honestly, that shouldn't be an option for a team that has playoff expectations.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the call, Con Dog. Now, your take. We love your contributions, so please keep them coming, and everybody else, please get in here as well. I will throw this up, and I see Bobo in there. Bobo, will get to you in a second, but Con Dog, here's the thing I'm going to say to you. You're talking about it's a viable strategy for other teams to sit their best players out. It's as silly as your hat tonight, dude. It's just when the Kings play bad, it doesn't matter if you're a star player. It doesn't matter if you're a starter. It doesn't matter if you are the 11th guy on the bench. It doesn't matter if you're one of those guys for the other team because the Kings aren't playing the other team. The Kings are playing themselves. It's the Kings versus the Kings. And if the Kings can't win that game, they're definitely not beating the team in front of them. So when you miss free throws like they did tonight, you beat yourself. And it's a scramble. Everything this season, just a scramble to try to make it right. And it doesn't work out. They get that late run at the end and they fall short. So it doesn't matter. Other teams' players, they're NBA players, Con. If they have a straight line to the hoop, then they're probably going to either make the dunk layup or give it to somebody that will. And the Kings have no answer for that. Bobo, we get to you. Welcome to If You Don't Like That.
Hello there. How are you?
Doing great, Bobo. What can I do for you tonight?
Well, do you think we need to fire Mike Brown? Because I think he's lost the team. And we're going in the wrong direction. And maybe we need to blow up some of the teams.
Yeah, Bobo, I appreciate the call. I'm going to put you back. For those that did not hear Bobo, and thank you again for the call. Kings lose tonight to the Indiana Pacers. What can I tell you? Make it 4 in a row, 126 to 121. Kings' next opponent. They have till Monday to think about this loss, think about the road trip, and think about what's next in terms of this team. Now, getting back to Bobo's call. Bobo is asking if I thought Mike Brown, or he thinks Mike Brown lost the team and if the Kings need to make a change. No. They don't mean he was the coach of the year. Come on. The West is better this year, Bobo. We've talked about it at length. We'll get to this too in a second half. The West is much better this year, as I said. And the Kings Mike Brown has had a part of it. His challenges, I thought he should have challenged to call in the first half tonight, which he didn't. Clear as day. Yet he's thinking about challenging something towards the end of the game. It really didn't matter. It's those little things, Bobo. So does Mike Brown need to be better? Yes. Does everybody need to be better? Yes. So anyways, thank you guys very much for being here on If You Don't Like That. I am Ryan in Sacktown. I'm happy to have you here in for Grant tonight. He will be back Monday when the Kings take on the Hawks. Again, the Kings lose tonight, 121-126. Bright spot for the Kings, if we want to point to a bright spot in this, Domantas Sabonis continues his historic run with double-doubles. Believe it's his 24th double-double in a row. Puts him third all-time on the Kings franchise list behind Oscar Robertson and Oscar Robertson. So anyways, happy to have everybody here again. Look, the Kings, they give up the starters for Indiana, guys. 17, 18, 20, 12, 25. Benedict Mathurin, 25. Buddy Hield? Buddy, you're going to let Buddy punk you on your home court like that? TJ McConnell, we talked about. Miles Turner? Come on. Come on. And Kings, I don't just have something for you. And guys, really quick, before we get to this, because I do want to pose a question to you, and I really would like your opinions on this. So there is the link right there if you would like to come in and give me your thoughts. But does something happen between now and Monday? Does this accelerate the Kings' need to make a move? Does this accelerate pressures from the fan base? Sound like there was starting to be a few boos there tonight. At least from my end, from here at home. Gosh. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying here. What I was going to ask you, does it increase the pressure? I want to know, do you think this means maybe we see a change to this Kings roster come Monday with the pending trade deadline? So, like I said, I don't just have something for the Kings. Okay, guys? This is absolutely embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And this kind of goes with the tone of the season, right? We're kind of painting this positive picture of what's happened this season. And look at that. About a minute and a half to go. You Kings fans are being asked. Let me put this comment down really quick. Sorry about that, guys. Who's the biggest key to the Kings' second half success? I'm sorry, what success? Yeah, thanks, Grant. And they've been in the same time zone for 4 days. What are we doing here? Really, what are we doing here? And the reason I put that up is not because I want to blast the broadcast. I want to blast the Kings. I bring it up and I put it up because that's the rhetoric in the fan base. It's the excuses for this team. But after tonight, this team, they creep closer and closer to 500 at 23-17. Let me double check that's right, because I don't want to be wrong there. I think it was 27-18. Yeah, there we go. Let's update that. 27-18. Pretty close. All right. I asked the question, guys, do the Kings accelerate a move, or do they try to make a move quicker before their next game Monday? Atlanta coming to Sacramento. We get to Charlie. Charlie, you're on if you don't like that.
Rhino, thanks for having me, man.
Of course, bud.
This is just such a brutal loss, man. I mean, I am absolutely just flabbergasted at our free throw percentage. I checked it out. 58.1%. We didn't even get over 60. How are you going to win a game like that? How? Don't make no sense to me.
Charlie, do you watch a lot of the Kings games?
Oh, hell yeah, I do.
Okay. So then you know this team shot free throws poorly all year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's been
a problem. It was a problem last year, too.
It was. And remember, I think Grant and Jerry have both said this. This is an offensive team. We're not talking about a defensive team. This was the best offense per offensive rating in the NBA history last year. And they can't shoot free throws now? And I think more troubling for me, the stat. So I don't know if you caught the top of the show. And thank you, Charlie, for checking in, man. But the stat that was more troubling for me, and I've been talking about this, is attempts. Attempts, guys. They're down 19.3% from the free throw line. Attempts, free throw attempts. That is a lot of attempts from last year. The Kings are taking 19.3% less free throw attempts this year. So they couldn't win in the playoffs last year against Golden State. Free throws are a staple of what winning teams do. Free throws are a staple of playoff basketball. But like I said, 23-18 now for this Sacramento team. We're regressing. We're getting closer to 500. So, and I, you know what? It's a fair point I'm not trying to bring up last year. Fair point to everybody saying that in the chat. I'm trying to make a comparison about the play, the style of play. Yes. TJ McConnell. So just think about this. TJ McConnell. Think about the difference that type of play would make with this Kings team. And they were pressuring the Kings consistently all night. Think about it. De'Aaron struggled to a degree tonight. And the Kings, they pick up the pressure late in the game, but it's too late. It's too little too late for this Kings team. And again, they drop another game. And I've said they haven't played a lot of close games this year because they haven't. Here's another one. But they're not coming out on the right side of these. And this galvanized unit, who does not lose many games in a row, has now equaled their longest losing streak since the start of last year. 4 games. Kings lose tonight, 126-121. We get back to the phones. We bring in Matt. Matt, welcome to If You Don't Like That. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, good. Ryan, can you hear me okay?
Got you loud and clear, bud.
Hey, I just wanted to point out about how these bad losses, specifically the Philly game, blowing the big lead, and like the first caller was pointing out, blowing those games against the teams that, such as tonight, that have the stars out. It's really ruining our reputation across the league. Like teams notice when we blow that big lead to Philly, and I just don't think we're feared anymore. And for example, if that Detroit team without Cade Cunningham was playing a team like the Nuggets, they would know that they have no chance. But they see us having these bad losses and they play to win. And that's making our guys have to play harder every night. And just like I said at the beginning, we're just not feared anymore. And we got to make a statement in these next games coming up. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, of course, Matt. Thank you for calling. Yeah, it's not just that the Kings need to make a statement in the next couple of games. They need to get this thing right. And being feared, I don't think it really has a ton to do with how other teams bring it. If anything, being feared makes teams bring it more against you. At least that's how it works with the Kings. I don't know. Lost for words. We will see. We get to our good friend all the way overseas, Baki. Baki, what's up, man? First off, I want to say I am sorry. We have not addressed it. The Golden State assistant coach who passed away. I know he was Serbian. Sorry for your country's loss. And sorry as the NBA. I know that's a very close-knit family. But happy to have you here on If You Don't Like That. What's going on, bud?
Yeah, hi. I mean, first of all, what you mentioned about what happened in Golden State, it's awful. It's hit us like a stone. But I don't want to talk about it right now because it was a really tough moment knowing what happened in the hospital. But let's talk about the game because I don't wanna sound like a statement, but I'm gonna just ask the question because you can answer and others can hear. It's about, you say it's nothing about defense. I mean, we are offensive team and stuff like that. Do you think Doug Christie was one of the best defensive player that Sacramento has ever. Do you think that?
Do I think that Doug Christie was one of the best defensive players the Kings have ever had ever?
One of.
One of. He's in the conversation. I think at best, Baki. I mean,
okay. Do you think that Doug Christie is one of the best, maybe the best defensive player?
No.
That is on the bench like assistant coach right now in the NBA?
I don't know off the top of my head all of the assistant coaches in the NBA. I know. So, here, Bucky, let me clear this up. Jordy Fernandez, the Kings assistant coach, and the one who takes over for Mike Brown when he's ejected, or was ejected. He is the one that runs a lot of the defense for that Sacramento coaching.
I was just right to mention him as well. So if you have those two guys and you have coach of the year, Mike Brown. So what your defense is doing? Come on. Can you show us something about the word defense? That's it. I don't have another question. I mean, without the defense, you are just a 50-50 team, like all the others. You're going to win 50% of the games, and that's it. I don't see what's the point only playing offense if it gets to the shot making. So if you're gonna make shots, you're gonna win. If not, you're gonna kiss the win bye, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Bucky, and I appreciate the call. I'll clear that up a little bit, at least in my opinion here. I mean, the Kings defensively, I mean, you look at offense, you look at defense, Bucky, it's 50% of the game, right? But when you're as good as the Kings were last year offensively, that can skew things, right? Because you're that good on one side of the ball. Now, I think the one thing we're missing here, I think the one thing that a lot of us are missing is just this. This Kings team is not as balanced as they were last year. We see flashes of balance from this team. And we don't even talk about last year, this year. The balance from this team that we've seen has been when this team wins. And when I say balance, I'm talking about the hustle stats, the rebounds, the steals. Those things are all in the Kings' favor. On top of that, it's not just that you're doing the little things. On top of that, you've got your mid-range going as well and cooking, whether it's Harrison Barnes. Now, Keegan Murray. How special has Keegan Murray been as of late? I mean, I know it's in a losing effort, but some of the plays Keegan Murray made tonight were incredible. He finishes with 27 points. He's actually a plus 10 on the game overall, but 11 for 18 from the field. I mean, 4 or 5 from the free throw line. Got it done there. He rebounded, nine rebounds. So look, Keegan's growing up before your eyes. The Kings went straight to Keegan a few times tonight. A few times. And they had no answer, Indiana, for what Keegan was bringing. So that's part of balance. You can't just shoot threes. You can't just turn it on with 5 minutes left because we saw what happens. The Kings aren't good enough. They are not good enough, as Baki says, defensively. And now this year, they're not good enough offensively to be able to beat a team in 8 minutes of only 8 minutes of a 48-minute game. And the reason is because they have stars. They don't have superstars. I mentioned this the other night. Grant says it all the time, and he's right. When we lost to Phoenix and blew the lead, they had Durant. The Kings didn't. Okay? That's the bottom line. Kings don't have that guy. They need that guy. I think they have that guy on this roster. But as Lance says, and Kevin Herter says, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. Yes. Well, yeah, excuse me, because the Phoenix Suns have Durant, the Kings don't. Thank you, Tyler. I don't disagree that the Kings need a dog. I was going to put you up, but comments are coming so fast. Thank you, by the way. All of you still here on If You Don't Like That. I'm Ryan in Sacktown, filling in for the one and only Grant Napear. If you missed any of the shows earlier, Jerry Reynolds was here at halftime. That was a really fun show. Also, if you would like, open phones, get up in here. We're going to keep the phone lines open a couple more minutes. Love to take your calls. Scan that QR code right there if you would like to come in. QR code up over my shoulder. Guess what? That's merchandise. That's the brand new merch for 2024. That'll take you right to Grant's merch page. Go check that out. We're excited about that. And yeah, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. As I promised, we're going to keep the phone lines rolling. We get to Alex. Alex, how you doing tonight? You're on If You Don't Like That.
Awesome, man. How you doing? Just want to say
Great.
thanks for the show. You and Grant kill it all the time. Just real
Thanks,
quick
brother.
I want to say that at the Arco Arena, the final game, I was there, and Grant and Jerry were real nice, shaking hands with everybody. So I never forgot that. That was awesome.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's who they are, whether they are on camera or off.
Yeah, and another thing too, Jerry actually waited outside of the game, and he must have hugged about 100 of us fans and talked to us. So again, I'll never forget that. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Really, really
Yeah.
appreciate that, Alex.
Yes,
Thank you,
and
man.
so I think about times like that when we're going through this crazy struggle right now with
Yeah.
the Kings. But I'm starting to think, is it just they're not? Is the effort just not there? Because it seems like they're only trying at the very end of the game, and also even the defensive personnel. It seems like we tend to crash and help a lot, but we're not athletic enough to do that. Because I feel like every time there's a wide open three or a layup, and you always see somebody trying to run and block the shot, in the last second. But it seems like we're just really out of place a lot. I'm not sure if we think of what you think about the defensive lapses lately.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. Alex, thank you. That's a great question. And I know Grant's in the chat somewhere, so
Yeah.
sure he thanks you, and Jerry will tell him as well. So appreciate you checking in, man. So yeah, it's a really good question, Alex. I don't know. I feel like, Alex, if I had to put my finger on it, I feel like everybody's kind of a fish out of water, right? I don't always like to go with effort because effort is, and I know I said that there's effort stats, but effort can also be used as a cop out, right? But I feel like the NBA is adjusted to how this team likes to play. And by the way, we got the next guy coming up. I got a treat for you guys. But they're just fish out of water. The NBA's adjusted. Slide Domas to the 4. I think we saw that tonight. The Kings, Domas just is not an NBA 5. He's not. He's got the heart of a champion. Guy's made out of steel. He's got a chin like no other. But slide him to the 4. You got to put a big in there with the Kings. You got to put a big in there. They can stretch the floor with Domas. And with that, you slide Keegan to his natural position, the 3. I agree with Jerry now. He is a 3. 100%. And now you slide him to the 3, Alex. You're getting some mismatchups with him, and he's showing that he can create offensively. He can be a finisher and a creator, which puts him on a very short list of Kings on this roster. So, as I said, I have a big surprise for you. This guy usually argues with Grant, and he glossed himself, but we allowed it. So it's the NBA guru, Zach. What's up, man? Didn't
What's
expect
going
you to
on?
come in tonight, dude.
I had to, man. I'm absolutely livid right now at what's going on. There's way too many
Why?
problems. Way too many problems. The interior presence. We're giving up crazy amounts of points in the paint. It's just terrible. These guys are not even fully healthy, and TJ McConnell is just wrecking us hecka hard and going in the paint like crazy. Buddy Hield looks like he got a dribble again, and he looks like he's Chris Paul and stuff. Our bench depth is terrible. Don't got that third scorer when Fox is not having it or Sabonis isn't doing it. Fox, he's kind of being a little bit more timid at the end of the games. I'm not liking that. Deferring a little bit.
But here's the thing, Zach. There's not. I know you're saying timid at the end of the games, but the Kings haven't been in very many close games. I said that the last pregame show. I mean, Mr. Clutch, there is no clutch time. We're just starting to see it so far, or now this season.
That's true, but then he's got to start being a dog at the beginning of the game. I'm not seeing at the beginning.
Amen. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and so if he's not going to be a dog at the end when it's close, because we're not having close games, he better bring it at the beginning. I don't know what's going on there. There's just a lot of problems. When you said we need a 5, it's scary to think that. I mean, they tried doing that with Miles Turner, with Sabonis. I don't know if it worked out. It's got to be some sort of Jaren Jackson Jr. type player. I don't know if that's out there. We can get someone like that, but it's just not fun anymore. Losing 4 in a row, we haven't done it in like 16 months. I don't even know how many months, but it's just tough to watch. Tough to lose these rough games at the end, and being down 15 with 2.5 minutes left.
Sorry about that, Zach. Zach, sorry about that.
You there? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, I was having some feedback.
Oh, you're good. But just, being down 15 with 2 minutes left is just bad enough to the Indiana Pacers without Tyrese. And it's just, I mean, we beat them by 30 last year. And it's just, that was with Tyrese. So, like I said, interior presence, way too many points in the paint. The bench is just not there. The third scorer not there. Fox just being a little bit not as superstar-y as last year. And I know everyone's pointing to the free throws. Yeah, we probably should have made 5, 6 more, but that's not the whole story. The points in the paint, giving up way too many points on defense. That's I don't know how many points in the paint. I haven't looked at the stats, but what was it, 60 or something? I don't even know.
Almost in the first half, it felt like, Zach.
Yeah. So
they had 38 in the end of the first half, but come the fourth quarter, they were flirting right with that number, right around that number you said.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I know we got 4 days before the next game or something like that. I don't know if we're gonna make a panic trade. At this point, we're just trying to make playoffs now. So whatever the trade, a few weeks ago when we were the 4th seed, we were trying to think, oh, let's make this trade to make that big jump, to become a Western Conference contender. Now it's looking like we got to make a trade just to stay in the playoffs and maybe get out of the play-in a little bit. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. I'm scared for this team. I'm scared for Monty. I hope good things come soon, though. I hope they get it together.
Yeah, no, great call, Zach. I'm with you, man. That is the NBA guru, Zach. All right, he gets to keep his gloss. I like him. Good points by him. Yeah. Look, maybe this shifts expectations for the Kings. This reminds the fan base of where this team's expectations are, because by all accounts, there's a lot of reports on there. I mean, I encourage you, go check out the X, check out Grant's timeline. Not saying he does reporting, but we're keeping up with stuff. I'm shooting updates out. Look, there's a lot of reports that there's really not a lot of worry inside that building right now. At least not coming into tonight, even after the Phoenix loss. Reports are reports. So believe what you want to believe. I mean, again, I said it the other night on the post-game show after the Kings lost to the Suns. We keep saying it every night. It's like there's this itch, but we have no idea where to scratch or how to get rid of it. And that's kind of that's the feeling, or at least my feeling right now with this fan base or with this team. So does it accelerate a move? I don't think so. We'll see. But as Zach said, this team's getting closer and closer to, not even. There's going to be people, regardless of what happens at this trade line, not happy with what the move is or lack of moves are. There is, because of the expectations right now. They're just so scattered. They're so random amongst this fan base. So tough night for the Kings again. As Zach said, look, they are dropping down the standings. Really hard to believe. Coming in tonight, 6th seed. Leaving tonight, 29-18, losing to the Indiana Pacers at home for their 4th straight loss, equaling their longest loss streak or losing streak since the start of last season. So I know we're talking about a lot of bad stuff and negative stuff with this team, but there's still a lot of positives. So keep your chins up. And speaking of positives, what about Bennetts? If you're new to the channel and you have not heard about Bennetts Westside Grill, by the way, that's their newest location. That is in Rockland in the Blue Oaks Town Center. But anyways, go check out Bennetts. Amazing steaks. Can't go wrong with any of them. Grant loves the New York. I love the hanger. Filet. Awesome. Seafood, redfish. But it's not just a dinner place. If you're like me and you love brunch, don't forget about Bubbles and Brunch. $44 on the weekends. Saturday, Sunday. Get you a bottle of champagne. Get you 2 entrees. Get you some juice to make some mimosas. Can't beat that. And have you seen some of the patios at Bennetts some of the Bennetts locations? Can't beat that on a nice weekend here in Northern California. So go check out Bennetts. Other locations in Roseville and Sacramento. Go to BennettsRestaurants.com for menus, for reservations, and more. Tell them that Ryan and Grant sent you. We would really, really appreciate that. So, all right, I'm going to get ready to cut this thing short tonight. I mean, this has been a long 72 hours for this fan base. And all of you have been amazing. Callers, everyone, thank you. Look, this team, it's a place for this team to rebuild. At least rebuild this season. Not just retooling the roster, but just take a different look. Take a 30,000 view look at this team in this season. If you're the coaching staff, if you're De'Aaron Fox, if you're the 12th guy on the bench, just look where this team's at. And look where this team could be at. So, yeah, that was good enough to get me to break thought there. Well played. If I had a Bennetts gift card to give you right now, Half, you would be getting a Bennetts gift card, just so you know. But just take a look at what you could do better, and let's be honest too. This is not always the easiest time right now, middle of the basketball season. Bumps, bruises, but that's why they're professionals. I know people get tired of hearing that, but it's why they get paid the big bucks. So they got the best. They may be professionals, but they have professionals around them as well. And the best of the best that do what they do to keep those guys out there. So take advantage of it. And look, be accountable. Go all in like this team talks about. But so much to talk about. Can't wait to break it down with Grant. I appreciate all you being here tonight again. Grant should, because all of you were busting my chops in the chat, should be back next game Monday is when the Kings return to the floor against the Atlanta Hawks. We will be back here on If You Don't Like That before then, if any news breaks. And stay tuned. You got to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up too if you haven't already, but make sure you subscribe because sometimes we just come on and do some new shows, a lot of content that we put out there for you. So anyways, thanks for coming in tonight. Kings do not light the beam tonight. A lot of time for reflection if you are a Sacramento King. Kings fans, keep your chins up. A lot of basketball left. Guess what? Monday night here in Sacramento against the Atlanta Hawks kicks off the second half of the season. Can you believe that? Second half of the season for the Kings by the numbers. Game 42. Let's hope they turn this thing around and start bringing some more consistency to it. Love y'all. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. So long.